How's it going, everybody? It's been a while. So it's been about 2 months since I made a video I'm done making comics for now, and here we are. I made a new comic. So yeah, the comic's called Chaotic Rewind. Please check it out in the link in the description down below. I posted the first couple chapters to Instagram. Some people seem to like it. That's cool. I posted chapter 3 as well to Webtoon. Basically, the premise is a young broke man wishing he would have invested in Bitcoin back in the day, and lo and behold, he wakes up in his 7-year-old body, and basically the premise is he's going to try to convince his dad to buy Bitcoin. It's kind of a stupid premise. It was kind of meant to be like a one-off premise of kind of like a funny, quick joke, and like the more I thought about it, the more stuff I thought I could kind of do with this kind of genre, because it's basically just Erased or Tokyo Revengers. So it's kind of like interesting, to kind of take a comedic spin on that. I've always kind of wanted to do more of a slice of life kind of comic with a little bit of a twist. And that's kind of the basic premise of that. It's going to be pretty short, a couple panels per chapter, just so I have something to do. The last time I did a video like this where I introduced 100 Years Later, all the way back at the beginning of the year. I also did kind of talk about what I learned and what I took away from making this comic. This was a very different experience from pretty much any other comic I've ever made. I've made quite a few comics, quite a lot of first chapters, quite a lot of just test comics, I guess. A couple I've published under a different name. But yeah, this was a really different kind of experience in making the comic, and it kind of brought me back to my roots, I guess. I don't know. It just felt weird when I was drawing it. It was kind of just, I had fun, I guess. And I didn't really, I originally just sketched it out as kind of like a joke, as kind of like, I just kind of sketched it out. Maybe I'll post it on Instagram or Twitter to see if people like it. And then I finished the sketch, and I was like, well, maybe I'll ink it as well. And so, I inked it, I colored it. And I was like, well, I'll shade it a little bit. I shade some of it. I didn't shade all of it, so I have restraint. But yeah, I didn't really mean for it to be a long series, and kind of the more I thought about it, the more I kind of expanded upon it. And I have a lot of ideas like that where, I don't initially want it to be a huge project, but, this is one of those times where I kept expanding the ideas, and I wasn't like so pressured to like actually do it, I guess. It was kind of just like, I'm very relaxed about it, which is very different from my dream comic, Helios, the comic I want to do so much. It was stressful, and it was kind of turning into work, I guess, because I wasn't really having fun with it, because I was stressing over, how the art needs to look, how the dialogue needs to go, and when you're not getting paid to do something, at least how I operate, it's like work, and it's hard, and you're not super pumped all the time. It just, in my brain, it doesn't work. It doesn't happen, especially when you work, a typical 40-50 hour job, and it's just the time you have off, and you have to do another thing. It doesn't work. So with this comic, it's just kind of fun, just to do. I didn't really plan to have it be, I didn't really plan for it to look good. I didn't plan for me to spending too much time on the art. I just kind of was like halfway through, I was like, well, I might as well like actually try on a couple panels here and there. And that's a kind of another thing I recently kind of realized. The more comics I make, I think it might be I'm more content with my art, especially in the comedy genre. I was reading this as a comedy, and like I was noticing how okay I was with the bad art, I guess. And if I keep practicing a bit more with these characters, and I'm able to draw them pretty well, for a comedy series that's like short 4 panels, I think it'll look really good compared to all the other series out there, honestly. Not to like brag about myself, but it more of like, in comedy, the art really doesn't need to be that good. It's more about the dialogue. It's more about the punchlines. So really, I had a video where I said your art's good enough. Like truly, your art is good enough for comedy stuff. Just the hard part is, putting it out there and writing good jokes and trying to make them land. That's definitely the hardest part. So it's kind of a cooler challenge that I haven't really had to deal with before. Before I had to deal when writing in a serious action fantasy manga, Webtoon. Look at me, I'm trying to be a mangaka. My issues were, writing believable dialogue, stuff that people would actually say to one another, kind of world building and trying to make my art look somewhat good. So it looks like, they're in a realistic fantasy world. Whereas with a comedy, you can kind of just, especially a comedy set in the real world, you don't have to do any of that. You could draw stick figures. Make it look a little bit nicer, I guess. But yeah, it's definitely more about the writing and the punchlines and just kind of how the comic flows and reads. That's more important for sure in a comedy. Yeah, I hope to keep updating the comic pretty regularly, every Tuesday and Friday. And yeah, I don't know about the YouTube channel, honestly. It's fun. I get not really stressed over it. I just kind of obsess over it a bit too much. And I don't really want to do that, I guess. So I'm going to probably low effort it a bit like I have been. I spent a lot of time on the last video I made, and I was pretty proud of it. It's just, it's not the right demographic for this channel. This channel kind of is brought up in art, and, all the people I interact with on this channel, are webcomic creators or artists, and, I like that aspect of it, so I kind of want to keep that as is. So this channel will be mostly just about me making webcomics and my art journey. I have a lot of big ideas of what I want to do on this channel, but honestly, I kind of just want to focus on improving my art and my kind of workflow and making comics so I can eventually make my dream comic, Helios. Now I'm thinking later next year, if there's a Webtoon contest, that would be perfect for that. And then I can kind of kickstart it off of that based on the results. If I win, that'd be great because then I could do it. But more than likely, I won't. And then I can just kind of keep updating it once I get those first couple chapters out. And then hopefully have a buffer for Chaotic Rewind. But yeah, I'm going to be trying to improve my art. I don't know what else I'm going to put on the YouTube channel. I'll probably try to upload a video every now and then. But yeah, I kind of just want to focus on making comics and improving my art for now. Because I don't want to name any names. It's no one I really interact with or talk to here on YouTube. But I think there are some webcomic YouTubers that kind of just focus more on making webcomic videos and stuff like that more than they actually make like webcomics. Not that that's like a bad thing. It's just I want to make comics. I don't really want to make like YouTube videos for comics all the time. It's fine every now and then, but I want to spend the majority of my time making comics, and I feel like I was going towards the YouTube route, which again is completely fine, and it's probably smarter, honestly. There's a lot more room for growth and expansion in YouTube, and really I should do that. But I just want to make comics. That's kind of my end goal. Is I kind of want to become a professional comic maker. And the best way to do that is to kind of just spend more time in making comics and different genres. I've never really actually made a complete comedy comic. I've dabbled with it before, and I kind of just want to keep it going because I really do love the comedy series. Gintama is seriously one of my favorite anime and manga. And I would love to eventually make a series like that where it kind of blends comedy and action and drama. But for now, I kind of want to keep them a little bit more separate. And I'll work on this series, Chaotic Rewind, as my comedy series. And hopefully, sometime next year, I can work on Helios, a little bit more action and serious, with my a little bit more refined art as well. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please, again, go check out Chaotic Rewind. Tell me what you think, and I'll see you around.